week one, we created a list of available technology that we have. As a district tech trainer, the list that I created for the technology had to do with the available hardware, software, websites, and databases, and the Web 2.0 tools I had available to me as a trainer. With that said, the best way to work with teachers and to help them assess their available technology and how to use those tools in new and effective ways is to go into their classroom and to point out that they can use those tools with different applications that they may not have thought of, especially now that every student has an online Google account and an Office 365 account, which this is the first year that every student in our district now has access to those tools. So it really makes the available technology tools an easily accessible in and out of school product for teachers to be able to use in their curriculum. In week two, we needed to select 3 of the available technology tools that we were going to focus on for next year. And the 3 I picked were Skype for Business, YouTube, and Chrome. And the reason why I picked Skype for Business is because it opens up the real world to students so they can think outside of the box and invite guest speakers and also to collaborate with other students across the globe. And it also affords the teachers the availability to web conference with students in a whole new way as opposed to sitting in a classroom. YouTube is a really great way for students to showcase their projects and provide that authenticity so they can share their information with the world. And teachers can create demonstrations, directions, and any kind of video content they want to post that's unique to their classroom. And it really does provide a great vehicle for showcasing all the great work that the teachers and the students are doing. And then Chrome is a really rich resource because it provides logging into the browser and logging into your Google account, and you have that seamless operation between all of the Google tools and the Chrome browser that runs some robust apps and extensions, and the possibilities are endless. For this assignment in adapting a lesson, I selected a original lesson plan that I worked on with a group of teachers called the Thomas Edison Lesson Plan. And then I created the technology enhanced version and I called it the Research Lesson Plan because I wanted it to be universal and to be applied to any content area. In the original lesson, the Thomas Edison Research Project, students worked independently, and the goal was to increase students' researching skills. It was a structured project. They followed step-by-step directions. They were given all of the supplies that they needed and any of the print material. And the online research was done, and they typed their papers using a word processing program. So that was pretty much the technology that was included in this project. And this project for the Florida standards was research to build and present knowledge, and it did fall under the language arts standards, but for the most part, research is built in and technology is built in to be embedded in all the content areas. The original lesson, how did it rate on the matrix? What I did, because I wanted to verify that I am on target when it comes to selecting how the lesson falls in the matrix. So I went and I did it in 2-fold ways on the TIM observation tools. I went and I did the matrix selected version where you go and you pick how you think it falls on the matrix. And then I did the question generated version. And the results are as follows. On the matrix based, I went and I selected for active, I selected adoption because it's procedural use of the tools. This is not a collaborative project. And for constructive and authentic, these are guided activities. So for the most part, it's not something that they're being delivered information. They have a set of things that they need to follow and they're working on them as they move along through their project. And then for the goal directed, I put conventional and procedural use of the tools to plan or monitor because they are using some of the online tools to help them to work through the different versions of the project. This was what came up with the question based. And for the goal directed, after I really looked at it, it was probably more of entry level. So this actually was more specific to the matrix, in my opinion. So on to the next lesson plan. This is the tech enhanced lesson, the research project. And in this one, the tools are selected by the students, and it takes it from personal to public, meaning it's not just them working alone. It is encouraging them to share with the world outside, with their family, to provide feedback to them. And it's totally online, it's authentic, and it's collaborative. Also, the changes were made because now these tools are available. When we created the first or original lesson, these tools were not available, and every student has access to the online tools that we have in the cloud-based tools for the Google and for Office 365. So it really does provide us with a toolbox that is very rich. So on the matrix, how did it rate? Again, same thing. I went through and I did my selection of the matrix, and then I did the question based. And this is how it came out. So for the matrix based, for active, I did infusion because they had the choice of the tools and it was self-directed. The collaboration with peers, I did that under transformational for the collaborative. The constructive was choice and regular use for building knowledge. And for authentic, I selected innovation or innovative use of higher order learning activities in a local or global context, because I do want them to share with people outside of the classroom, and I want them to post it so they're publishing it online. Also for goal-directed, flexible, and seamless use of tools to plan and monitor. So that's how I selected those. And then when I went and I did the question-based, they rated it all as transformational. So I was in between both, but I still felt that the TIM observation tool is a great way to visualize, and I got to see the different characteristics, and I wasn't too far off on some, and I still have some work to do to be able to assess the lessons more effectively. It really is a great way having the double options to be able to train yourself on how to use the matrix. So all in all, the tool was really important, and it really validated the use of the technology from the first lesson and how it really was enhanced by turning basically the learning over to and the decisions over to the students to make it that more transformational and to give it a more global appeal.